Well, I want to start with congratulations to the two of you, your new stations of higher learning. I mean, I hope I can keep up with you.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah. Well, I'm serious. I don't want to come in and blow you guys'. I'll just join in because I appreciate that. But you guys got a role going, I'm sure. And if I can get in where I fit in, but
No,
thank you for
we
having me.
just did a little bit of background info, really. We didn't go too far. What I said is I had a bunch of your records in the background, including organized, to let you know that I was serious about this. And I've got, I think, all but one album. I even have the new Christmas album. So I got to listen to one track, and I understand there are about five that you guys wrote, and I'm really excited to hear it.
All right.
So let's talk about the end of all of this instead of the very beginning. Like when 2015's album More Than One came out, it was an incredible album, and it felt like you never went away. I can't say that for everybody's later albums. What made that work for you?
The More Than Love album.
Yeah.
Wow. Actually, it's kind of interesting that you say that because I think we only did one, maybe two of those songs face to face. A lot of that album was done with Michael sending me parts, and I record my parts, send it back to him, and vice versa. Fortunately, modern technology gives us the ability to do that and blend everything well, which also made it interesting working on that normal back and forth thing that Michael and I do vocally.
Right.
You know, it made it interesting. Try
to make that feel happen. Yes.
Right, but managed to do it.
Yeah.
Plus, Mike came up with some really good material on that album.
I had the fortune of the few songs that I did of working in a couple of various studios, and there's a song called Say Yo on the More Than Love CD. Mm-hmm. And remember we went down to Beyonce's in Houston, because you lived in Houston, I think, or you were visiting, or we had a gig or something. Yeah. But Beyonce's Knowles had a studio down there that we were able to do some vocal work for Say Yo. And then, of course, I had a guy, Mr. Doug, I can't think of Doug's last name right now. Doug Chambers, he has a studio in Vacaville, and we were able to do some work on the horns and the choir. We had the choir effect going on out there, and we were able to use a live room there. So to go along with what Felton said, most of it was done with the internet back and forth, sending files and things like that. But for the most part, man, it was anytime I can go in the studio, I'm happy. Anytime I can get in the studio and get behind a microphone or sit down with some headphones on my head, I'm always happy, man. I'm still holding on to the old school days.
Absolutely. You guys wrote so much of your own material. It was interesting to hear you do the cover of Curtis Mayfield or The Impressions. Can't quite remember. Mm-hmm. Move On Up was beautifully done. And I'm not sure if the accordion was synthesized or real, but it added a texture that was pretty amazing.
I have to say, see, Felton would be proud of me. I actually played the keyboard accordion on that, and it was because I'm a guitar player, so I actually played the keyboard recording on that, and I was going for Zydeco. The whole thing is all about New Orleans, and my granddaughter at the time had just enrolled in Southern University, I think it was, the Human Jukebox College. And we thought she might graduate from there, but she went on to go to LSU. So she'll be graduating actually in a month from LSU. But I wrote that for her because I had planned to do the video, right, in the French quarters. Me, her in the cap and gown, and her and I and myself toasting at the bar in the French quarters, right? But we were going to do a walk down the French quarters with that thing blasting, and I'll call Move On Up, and show a couple of shots of her on campus when she was having a rough time, dropping her books, spilling her books on the ground, not knowing anybody, right? Yeah. And then all of a sudden she graduates, and then of course we're doing Move On, Curtis Mayfield's Move On Up.
Yes, that's a great story. I guess I'm going to be playing that as part of this
All right.
when this airs in a couple of weeks. I want to swing all the way to the beginning. Dr. Cooper, we're talking about the album Organized and how it was kind of a mistake or a late effort to put that together. But
Yeah.
one of the things that intrigues me, and is I always talk about this on my radio show, the name of your band based on the Nightlighters song. Okay. Then on Move On Up, you turn around, you have a song called Nightlighters, don't you?
Yeah,
It's a
on the album
complete
More Than
twist.
Love, you mean? Yeah.
Yeah,
More Than Love.
yeah,
That was another harebrained scheme of mine.
I felt it.
I didn't know if any of the Nightlighters were first of all, of course, a band or not, or they were around or not.
Yeah.
But I didn't want to get off the planet without acknowledging them for that song. Number one, they wouldn't remember us from Adam. We saw them play at a poolside at a Unity festival. We were all in our early teens. We're like 16, 17, 18 years old. They were a few years older than us, and they were signed to, I think it was RCA, and we're backing up the New Birth. And the main ingredient and New Birth on the show that we were all a part of. And it was just unbelievable, the horn sound that they had. And then later on that night, they discovered that those horns went with a whole song. And then for them to actually spell the name over the microphone, for some reason, we never forgot it. The spelling of the name, you know, and I had never, ever, ever heard the song on a record. I just heard them play it live, and it stuck in my head all those years. And in some kind of ways, we suggested it when it came time to pick a new name down in Memphis. There was even no debate. There was no discussion.
Wow.
It just, everybody looked at each other and said, right now, from this point on, we'll go from Project Soul to Funk Shun.
Great story. So when we were waiting for you to come in, I talked about secrets a little bit, about how me and a group of buddies went into a record store comparing notes about the albums we had heard about. And one said, there's this album by Funk Shun. We like, who? And he picks up Secrets. And I think 4 of us bought a copy. I still play it, you know, it's right behind me on that side. And you guys autographed it for me. So thank you. That album is just so tight. And everybody talks about fun, okay? But that whole album is tight. Like, who has the time? You know, I play that when there is strife on my show because it's just right. I commend you for your songwriting.
Thank you. And many thanks. Well, a lot of gratitude to our producer at that time, Skip Scarborough, who was an amazing writer, wonderful to work with in the studio. And so he brought in his expertise from working with the Emotions and Earth, Wind, and Fire.
Finest.
Right. And helped focus the Funk Shun sound, you know. Wonderful guy to work with, wonderful experience, you know. It was such a blessing.
I think he's one of the hidden gems of this music.
I would agree.
It sometimes I've done specials on him, you know, because the music, well, one of the things is he has these beautifully bass-driven ballads, you know, like the LTD. I mean, if anybody who didn't know him heard 4 songs in a row, they would know after that when Skip was involved.
Yeah, I had a very interesting thing happening to me, and it was not that long ago. And it was, I think, it was within the last 10 years I've been where I'm living now in Vacaville. And I remember calling, there's a song that I love, and I love to hear it every year and over again. I just can't get enough of it. Every time it comes on, I listen to it all the way through. And it's something I wanted to say and play and perform for my wife. So I was going to change the key and perform it for my wife. And it's a woman singing, but I was going to transfer some of the words for a male to sing it. And all these years, if the song is called "Giving You the Best that I Got," right?
Wait a minute.
And
The Anita Baker?
Yeah, Nina Baker.
Skip wrote that.
Skips. I did not know all this. I was going, okay, I need the lyrics. I need the lyrics. So I said, Alexa, who wrote this song? Right? And she came back. The song was written by Skip Scarborough. I think he partnered with somebody. Skip Scarborough. I said, "Oh my God! Now I see why I love this song."
Yeah.
I said, I knew it was something about those chord progressions and the way they were moving from one to the next that I couldn't get enough of it. And that's that Skip Scarborough thing, man. He takes a chord progression and excites you. Maybe every 8 bars or every 16 bars, he's going to excite you with a movement, right? When I look into my eyes, when I hypnotize, make them to your baby. And then, he just kills me with those exciting, weird chord progressions and have given you the best that I got out, man. And now I love it all over again.
Well, me too. And I guess I need to do another Skip special.
Yes.
Let's talk about your Christmas album. What motivated it?
Oh, wow. Michael, this was Michael's idea. Hey, Phil, man, we should do a Christmas album. Wow, it hadn't even dawned on me to do it, but this was Michael's idea. And I started getting ideas for it, and then he said, "Okay, we're gonna put this in your lap."
Okay, thanks.
Okay, all right. But Michael was the starting point on that, and one of the first things I did was. The very first song I wrote was a song that's now on the album called "King Beneath the Star," and that was done 10 years ago. We started on this album 10 years ago.
Wow. Yep. I had to let him know that, dude, I have to throw this your way completely, time-wise, and then I knew that there was twists that needed to be done. You have to twist things a little bit. If you're going to be a Funk Shun or Jeffrey Osborne or someone like that, you're going to grab a standard, Luther Vandross, you're going to put your twist on it, right? And I knew we had to have a musical twist on it that only Felton and KC could do when I said, look, twist it somewhere, go somewhere different and shock people, but always be true to the song. And he was able to do that. And it just turned out to be one of the greatest things we've ever done, is just to sit down and pay tribute to Rodgers and Hammerstein and all the, and then have Felton do original music to fit right into that and all that. So we're actually thinking about volume 2. So,
Excellent. Well, I mean, I'm glad you guys are rolling hard because, after More Than Love, I was waiting for the next one, and here it is.
Yeah, here
completely
it is.
Different twist. But I'm just so happy that you guys over these decades have really gone in other directions, but somehow seem to figure out that there are things between you that work so well. And Silk Sonic helping nudge you guys along. I still listen to your original. I know where I am with that.
Right.
Just for the record. They can teach the young folks that, but I'll just tell you a quick story. We probably don't have much more time. I was on the air one day, and this guy told me he was down at the point of Pittsburgh where the Ohio River met. It's sunny day. He's in a wheelchair flirting with women, and he's got a big boom box. And he tells me to throw on Love Train so that all the women in the park could hear it. That is the song he picked to get them to come close to him so he could say a few words. That's how significant you are to people, okay?
That is big. Yeah. That Bruno Silk Sonic covering the song put us in a very small but fortunate club of songs that are over 40 years old that came back and made it to #1 on the charts. Very
Yes.
small number of songs that do that. We're
Yeah.
blessed. All right.
Talk about getting your wings and your statistics in order.
Yeah.
Man, to be on the charts as long as the #1 R&B, pop R&B artist recording your song and have it stay on the charts that long.
Yeah,
And then to do a 40-day tour because they couldn't get out. They were trapped.
Mhm.
They were hung up making $500,000 a night somewhere in Vegas.
Mhm. Mhm.
Couldn't get away. So that meant we had to get out there and promote.
Yeah. Well, it was a nice springboard for you.
absolutely.
But you never left me. I just want to say that. And I wish that all of those guys who went to that record store with me that day, I wish they could see this, because I think they'd remember the collective joy that we would go to each other's dorm room after that, and Secrets was always in rotation from that day forward. It meant a lot to us. Is there anything you want to say that I didn't script?
Not that. It's on you, Mike. I have no idea.
Well, I always got too much to say. I always got too much to say. I actually called Felton this morning about animation of one of the Christmas songs for next year.
Oh.
And Felton knows me. Once I get a bone, I just can't let it go.
Yeah.
King Beneath the Stars. I'm trying to get Felton we're going to shake some trees first to see if bigger fish can take that and make it into a bigger situation, that song. But should it come back to us, then I want to make an animation video. Nice. A real serious animation video, Funk Shun animation video of King Beneath the Stars. So that'll be my project during Christmas, is trying to make sure we line that up for next Christmas. And of course, we have a brand new album we're working on. We should complete it probably by the end of December, 1st of January. Felton has a song called So Smooth on this new album. I don't know if you guys covered that already, right?
No.
They say, well, that word smooth is going to be prominent in the title song or title theme of the album. So the album could be called So Smooth. It could be called Smooth. And I have a song I'm working off called Jukebox. If you want my loving, you want my time. You want to drink my whiskey, you want to drink my wine, and meet me at the jukebox, right? Stupid, funky song, right?
That's a great lyric.
Yeah, I'm working with a guy on it now that can do a better job at it than me, and put it really in that doo-wah-diddy Roger Troutman funk thing, right? Yes. And once I get it done, I'm hoping, if Felton will agree, we can call the album the Smooth Jukebox or Smooth Jukebox. So we'd have the word smooth in there and the jukebox in there, and let's give it a unique sound. As far as the name of the album having a unique sound, because we're always going Funk Shun, More Than Love, Funk Shun, Love Shine, Funk Shun, Secrets. I'm trying to get a little more grit in there and just go like, whoa, they call the album what? And then you can't forget it, right? You can't forget it after that. So it's going to be hopefully April. Targeted month is April. So hope we can get it out. We'll check with the company and distributor to see how we can get it out for April.
When you mentioned that jukebox scenario, I thought about Messing with a Grown Man. That song.
That's what it is. That's it, man. That's the whole concept.
Is it the same group?
That's the whole concept. Dancing with a Grown Man.
Yeah. No, sorry, dancing, not messing. Same thing.
Dancing with a Grown Man is it's of course, this guy's becoming of age.
Yes.
But you back on the market, and the only asset you working with, especially now with the gray beard, everybody got the gray beard all trimmed down and everything. You got one asset. And that's your dancing. You can dance, right? And if you can catch one of these 30, 35, 40-year-old women to come out on that dance floor with you, here you are 60 plus. You got it, because once she see you dance, it's on, baby. As a matter of fact, I've got a Bust You video of Felton dancing at his birthday party a couple of weeks ago. He was getting down. I'm going to hold that over you, man.
Okay,
I've got it on my
okay.
camera.